So 7:04, Jen, you ready to call the meeting to order?
I am, because we actually have people. I can't tell who's on.
I'm on.
Lee Cole's here.
Tim, okay, you're the 724. Who's the 322?
0332, that's Cece.
Cece, all right. All right, well, let's call to order. Let the meeting begin. Usually I try to have a roll call, like actually the list of names. I don't have it with me, so I'll just go through what I have here. DeLisle, yes. Koenig, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, you can speak.
Sorry.
Otto? You're muted.
Jacki?
She's here. She's already
I
been
know
on.
she's here. She's muted.
Yeah.
Stoyer? No. Wilbur was absent with notice. Cole?
Yep, I'm here.
Iaquinto? I know you're here, Sam.
Yes, I clapped as my intro.
Prince is absent with notice. And Saville.
Saville's here.
Okay, I'm going to ask again if somebody can be responsible for notes for doing the minutes for next time. No.
All right. It's not that I don't want to, it's that I'm not actually doing the driving, but it's hard to write while I'm in the car. Hold on a second.
Well,
Let me see what I can do.
I'll do it, but it's going to be slower. As you can see this time, I wasn't able to get the minutes out because nobody took them and I was trying to do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I do.
All right. So you know what? Okay. I am consciously taking notes at this point. I will probably just put myself on mute so that I can put you guys on speaker so I don't have to hold the phone up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
By the way,
The agenda.
just one question. Do you need the rest of us on mute most of the time except when we talk, or do you not get the feedback?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? All right.
We're fine with feedback.
Okay.
Okay, do we have someone to motion to accept the agenda as presented, or do you have any additions to it?
So moved.
Second, support.
Okay, all in favor of adopting the agenda as circulated?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Okay. All right, call to the public.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Aye.
So, pending one more donation from Jacki that we're receiving this weekend, we will have all the needed funding for the course. Which means next week we will contact Discraft and either go out and pick up the baskets or order them if they aren't in stock. And so that's where we're at right now. We're looking pretty good. The tournament was a success and I had plenty of donors, so we did secure the funds and we're ready to move forward. So
Great, thank you.
oh, does anybody remember in the first meeting, somebody had mentioned an anonymous that it might wanted to donate perhaps a basket to the fund, but I couldn't remember who had mentioned it. But if not, if nobody remembers, it's not a big deal.
It was me, and I'll reach out to him.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Because I mean, we still could use a little more for wood for our signage and stuff like that, and whatnot. So yeah, definitely would still be of help.
All right, I will check.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Other than that, that's about what we got to report.
Yeah, once the baskets are in, then we'll arrange for the installation.
Yeah, as soon as I secure the baskets, which may even be next week if they have them in stock. I know they've been a little behind on inventory because with this last year, people have been buying that stuff like it's going out of style. So the sport's really booming right now. So we might end up having to wait a few weeks, but I'm hoping not. So we'll see what happens. So, and I already have all the help secured to get us installed as well. So probably what we'd want to do after we get the baskets, I don't know if anybody wants to go out and walk the layout with us before we install it, or, you know, because we can make plans to meet over there and actually show you firsthand what's going down.
Well, you could send out a notice if you're going to be out there sometime, I guess.
Yeah. When is the next meeting? Is that like in a month or?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just email you. We'll send out an email and let you guys know and see if we can, you know, get together and find time that works for everybody that wants to be there. You know, not a big deal. I'm pretty flexible, so you know, if we need to, you know, work something out with a couple people, that's fine.
All right. Well, thank you. Any other members of the public? I see a Bob, but I don't know who that is. No. All right. Moving on then.
All right. Well, thank you. You
Thanks
guys all
very
have
much.
a good night.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
So the minutes, like I said, we just had other meetings going pretty regularly now with the RFP. So I was trying to write emergency minutes since no one else wrote them, but I wasn't quite able to complete. So we'll have to present those next time. Correspondence. I don't have any, and I don't know if Jackie, if you feel like you have correspondence for.
I don't have any. We did meet with the National Fitness Campaign yesterday, but we really don't have any news for them. I just basically told them by the end of the meeting to us in another 30 days, another 30, 60 days. And it probably won't be until the end of June, July. So this isn't even, this would be for 2022. So I said, we're not even there yet.
All right, Planning Commission update, Sam?
Sure. There has not, Planning Commission hasn't addressed anything that would affect the Parks and Rec. Thank you.
Okay. Township Board update, Jackie?
Township Board update. We are going to be, because the next meeting, our timeline for the park designer was going to be on May 25th. We asked to have that. We were asked not to put it on the agenda because the next agenda is going to be for specifically one thing. So we decided instead of waiting into June 8th for the meeting, that we wanted to give ourselves more time as a subcommittee to have it, to review everything, get it in front of the Parks and Rec Board, and have you see everything, and or we make our recommendations to the Township Board. And so we're looking at probably the June 22nd meeting of doing that recommendation.
Anything else from the Township Board?
No, I don't have anything else.
All right.
And
School board
I
update?
will share with you guys, sorry, I will share that the DNR grant, I had a weird feeling about a week ago on a Thursday that we was on the 14th that I needed to look at the DNR grant because I haven't gotten anything back from them. And I went into the portal and found out that there were, sorry, that there were 4 things that they were asking us to do. Asking questions about 4 things, and they were all due the next day. So I had to scurry and get that done. And I will tell you the office staff helped greatly getting stuff around and getting the things to me on time. And we were able to submit everything by the 15th.
All right,
So we still have a place in line.
school board update?
We have gone through the COVID year pretty successfully. One of the things I might comment about is that some of the COVID funds that do not come from the state are going to be distributed, and the way they're going to be sharing them is in contention right now. And the reason why I'm even bringing it up is if anybody has any kinds of connections politically with school boards, state board of education, legislatures, I would ask you to focus on telling those folks that Whitmore Lake Public Schools has had more days in-person instruction than any other school district in Washtenaw County. Now, what that means is that we've had more expenses. For example, for lunch programs, for busing, just the gas alone, for paraprofessionals. So our costs have been higher than other districts that have only been virtual. The intent of the Washtenaw County ISD seems to be to distribute it equally, despite the kind of expenditures that may be. For example, I know Dexter, where my grandkids are, they didn't have in-person classes for much of the year. And they're a rich district besides, and we're a poor district. So if you have any kind of influence anywhere, please bring this to their attention that when you have in-person instruction, there's more expense. Go on further, we know that we have been successful in many ways. The superintendent has scheduled very well. When we came back from breaks like at Christmas or spring break or whatever, he scheduled virtual instruction, sometimes for a couple of days, one time for a week. That meant that we did not have to cancel anything because every one of those breaks meant that somebody someplace in our school district tested positive for COVID, and we'd had to close down anyway. So it was already planned. We didn't miss any days. Tom has done an excellent job that way. We now have spring sports. We're just working on where we have to use masks, where we don't. It seems as though most of the competitive events recently with CDC regulations and the new governor recommendations, we do not have to worry about that. We are also still planning to have outdoor prom and outdoor graduation, but we will have them and the kids will be able to experience that in their life. I think that's about it. Oh, well, we did have a death of a staff person in the pool area as she was doing her job. Again, we offered grief counseling and so forth to staffing because the kids, I don't think, needed it, but we had to do some work with that. But that was about 2 weeks ago, I think. Okay, that's it.
All right, thank you. DDA update. We won't.
Hey, Lee, hey, can I say
have
something
unless
here?
anybody. Yeah,
Sure.
Lee, for the graduation, if you need any additional chairs or if you need someone to help with parking or something like that, let me know. I'd be glad to volunteer.
Which one is this? I can't tell by the voice.
It's Tim, I'm sorry.
Okay, Tim, thanks. I'll let Tom know. Appreciate that.
All right, moving on to the financial report. Does anybody have comments? I think it still doesn't
I have
reflect
no-
everything, but
I have bills at my house that I have to get out to the, do I give them to you, Jennifer, or do I give them to the township?
What do you
Bills for the
say?
wood and stuff. I have
yes,
bills, receipts.
right, take it to the
I guess
township.
Okay, all right.
As
So I
far
think
as
that
as far as the budget, so everybody knows, the budget has not been approved yet. That's why it probably doesn't, it's updated. And those updates have been made to the Parks and Rec. And I think that if it's not going to be, public hearings are going to be on June for the budget. If it's not approved, then it has to be approved on June 22nd and have another public hearing.
So I'm sorry, Jackie, you're cutting out a lot.
So I said that the budget has not been approved. That's why you guys are seeing, you are getting information that shows that it hasn't been updated.
Mhm.
So it has to be approved by the June 22nd. Board meeting has to be approved before July 1st. It's
But that's the 2022 budget, right?
that's the 2022 budget.
Yeah, and we're still looking to fix the 2021.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why I went through all that with Yvette about trying to straighten out if we had money left or not. Because we keep getting all the
Planner fees?
fees in there. And then I don't know what happened with the grass issue.
Well, that was supposed to be paid out by the general fund.
Right. So at any rate, we'll see. But I think,
And I did bring that up at the last meeting.
yeah, it would get straightened out, but I don't think it is yet. Moving on to the community park, I guess we've already kind of discussed the first two, the RFP. Go into more, we've gotten 9 applicants. We're interviewing every one of them. The subcommittee, we've been going through and scoring the applications. We're now interviewing everyone, calling the references. And we're gonna have a special meeting June 10th for our board to approve the selections and send it on to the township board. So just as a warning, we're sorry we need to have a special meeting, but these are a lot of applicants,
Yeah.
but they're really good.
That would be a change.
So I think pretty much any one of them would do a great job, and that's exciting. Anything else, Jackie? And anything, do you want to say anything more about the grant application?
No. We're just working through the process.
Okay. So the plans for work on the path and lakefront plantings. I know Tim and I were talking earlier about trying to figure out how we will try to schedule work days to get ready. We are having a problem trying to get the plants themselves because, like everything, they're understaffed. They don't answer things. They don't. have anything, so I'm concerned that the plants may just come in mid-June, so right before the 4th of July, and then if we put them in, they'd get trampled. And if we wait till after, they're gonna get baked in the sun.
Can we, like, section off the pathways, or like, you know, just so that people don't get trampled, don't trample on them?
Well, I don't know how 4th of July is gonna be run this year, but I would think for the fireworks that it would be very hard to keep people from trampling.
Especially on the front lawn, on the front end by the beach.
Yeah, and Jackie, are they gonna be parking in the field?
I don't, they have not reached out to the township to ask, or I wasn't aware of it as being part of their application.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I can add it to the, I can add it because I'm on the committee.
I'm sure this has been mentioned before, but I did not have any problems with the ice fishermen parking in the area that they did. But when I saw what happened with the thaw, I'm wondering what we are, and Tim probably has a good idea, what we are doing to repair the deep tracks in that parking area, and what our plan may be, or do we need to make a plan to make that area more firm through the frost and thaw?
Well, one thing we were talking about is to put up some T-posts next year along the road and then along part of that spot where they were parking. And then maybe off to the trees and just put some tape up. And that way force them to park behind the post office, which is a little higher and a little bit drier.
Yeah.
And then and hopefully that will do it. And just put signs up to say, please just don't park in this area. I understand it's closer. I understand it's easier, and I get it. But what happens is that until the ground freezes, that's what's going to happen. And the same thing, like when the ground, on freezes, that's how we get the mess that we had. But as far as repairing it, I'm going to get out there this week and do it. I was actually waiting for the weather to change, even though today is like 85 degrees or whatever it is. But
Tim, you may want to reach out to Bill, Chief Wagner, because I think he already arranged something with J&M.
Yes.
well, okay.
They're gonna do it because Sam Iaquinto had asked them to instead of doing it.
I did not ask them.
No, Bill did.
I did not have anything to do with that. And if we were going to pay somebody to do it, we should have offered to pay Tim Saville, who does that for a living, instead of just Tim volunteering and myself volunteering all the time. And
Yeah, I got an email. I got an email, Sam.
So it's sad that we're going to pay somebody else to do it. And, guys like Tim and I volunteer to do stuff like that. And that's how we make our living.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking up for you, Tim.
Thanks, buddy. But yes, I already spoke with Jackie about it, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate what the two of you do, and I agree that the information needs to go to the Township Board and the supervisor about such issues. Thanks.
And I addressed at the last board meeting too, that we are now in a gray area where it's costing us more and you're burning out volunteers and start paying people. Whether it's the volunteers to be paid or if it's a company to be paid, I've already addressed it with the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So back to the path and lakefront plantings. We will need to schedule some work days for those. But I don't know when they will be. But maybe we can send out, what do you think, Tim, a request when it comes closer? Because he said, like, once he goes through the brush hog, like, you'd need someone, people following along behind to remove the brush,
Correct.
help with wood chips, if we can get them.
Yeah, I'm trying, like I said earlier, I'm trying to get a hold of Wright Tree Company.
Mhm.
They've helped us out before, at the community garden. But I think they're like everyone else right now. They're just short of help and they just don't.
All right. So I guess we'll just send out requests later for that. And onto the dog park, without Chuck here, Tim, did he talk to you at all about the replacement of the gazebo?
No, I haven't heard anything from him. Are we gonna put another gazebo up or are we gonna put up a pergola this time?
Well, he was gonna contact you because I was thinking we needed sort of a subcommittee of people to look at the options and figure out what would be the most long-lasting, cost-effective way to do it.
Well, I think a pergola is cheaper because, we can leave it up all the time. We don't have to worry about the wind. As far as summer shade goes, we can do similar to what we did at your place, or you did at your place and just buy those shades. And then we can just take them down in the winter. We don't have to worry about anything. We'll put them up in the spring.
I think he was concerned about the cost of the wood.
Well,
But I know I have posts left in my barn.
yeah, but I think right now, I don't, even if it's not the wood, I think a lot of people are taking on other materials right now. And I think everything's just expensive.
Mhm.
So if we don't do something for the summer, maybe in the fall, the prices will come down a little bit and then we could address it then. But,
Okay. Well,
I understand. Yeah, I understand what he wants to do and he wants to have something up for summer, but you have two choices. Either you spend the money now or you wait to see if prices come down because Lord knows, I don't know how they can get any more expensive,
Yeah, I don't know how people are doing. It's just starting to get hot now. We'll see if anybody comments.
Right. We can always put a donation can out there.
Mhm.
And if someone wants to donate, say, listen, if you don't like the sun, help us buy it, help us build a thing.
All right. Well, without Chuck here, I guess we can't do much more right now. Sorry. We move on to the community garden.
I spoke with Dan and he mentioned the pump is up and running. He was out there. I spoke with him this morning at about 10 and he said he was just out there this morning and it's all working and everything's ready to go. He said there were no buckets and I figured, I was guessing, I haven't been out there for a couple weeks, that they are in the shed. So I will try and go by tomorrow to see if there are, and if so, set them out by the pump, like in years past.
All right. And I have to say thank you very much to Tim. He has done a lot of work on repairing those boxes and making new ones. And
With your help as well.
we did go over cost, but it was because so much extra reconstruction was required. But I think it'll be okay. And we haven't.
The receipt I have for Home Depot, I'm sorry, but the receipt I have for Home Depot is approximately $300 plus I have receipts for the dirt for the community garden. So
the only thing left that we had authorized previous was the fence.
So Jacki, I have a question because I have an invoice from Tractor Supply for the boxes, and I'm going to submit that in this week. I'm not gonna have to wait until June 22nd, correct? I'm gonna be able to be.
Oh,
reimbursed. Okay,
Correct.
because I was not gonna go get the fence if I was gonna wait on that again. So, fence will probably be done in a couple weeks when I'm caught up at my businesses.
All right, that would be great.
Okay.
Because we got the sign up and looks really spiffy.
It does, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks real nice.
And Lee Prince's husband put that up for us.
We'll have to take it down. I'm afraid we might have to take it down during the winter, but we can put it up like at the end of March or something, or because I just don't want the weather to destroy it, you know.
Oh,
It doesn't need to be up during the winter.
I think it would be hard to take down though.
The way they
It's just-
put it up.
I mean,
Nothing's hard to take down.
the lakefront sign went through the winter just
Okay,
fine.
Sam.
Oh, goodness.
That's fine, but whatever you guys want to do.
Jennifer Carlisle before it had the question about the rules in garden, the rules to be put up. I don't know what that was about.
Well, we've had some things up in the past, just, keeping your spot clean, etc.
Mhm.
So,
When they pay,
I
don't they
don't-
sign a rule page? Jennifer, when you pay for a spot, don't you sign a rule page that spells out that?
Well, that's what I don't know. Since Jennifer Carlisle handles that.
When I had talked to Jennifer about that, she said, yes, everyone has to sign part
Okay.
of their commitment to the garden, so.
So there you go, that's
Good
covered.
enough to me.
Well, my question then is, what is the enforcement of that policy and who does it?
You.
Me.
Right.
You don't want me doing it. I'm a Marine, man. I don't brook ignorance, you know?
But yeah, I mean, what we've seen this year is way too much work went into this garden this spring. So what we're gonna look into is when these boxes collapse next, that maybe we just start just tilling the whole thing and stringing off plots rather than trying to have the boxes anymore, because they're a lot of work and they're a lot of expense.
I think that's an issue that probably needs more thought than what we're going to do at our meetings. That sounds like a subcommittee thing.
Yep. I'm just
Well-
putting it out there because that's apparently how Ann Arbor does it.
and I was mentioning to the subcommittee that there is a community garden in Livonia that's associated with the Scottish Highlands when they have their festival there. There's a community garden right next to the big open field, and that's how they do it, is they just have outlines. So, and it's beautiful, and it's a huge garden. They have lots of participants, so.
Because yeah, I don't want to spend this much time on that garden again, I gotta say.
I don't have an opinion either way. I just think that since it's a big change, we need to talk about it.
All right. Anything else about the garden?
Nope.
All right, board member comments? Anybody?
I noticed, Jennifer, that in July, we have a couple seats coming up, and I do have one person that is interested in joining the board.
Okay.
I don't know how we,
Want me
I
to
don't
leave?
know exactly. I don't know if that has to be put on an agenda or how that all works out.
Person submits their name to the township board when it's announced.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's CC and my seats are the ones that are pending. So they've asked us if we want to continue, we have to submit, other people would have to submit.
Yeah, and then the board decides.
I didn't know how to approach it, so I just, so decided to bring it up to the meeting tonight.
Any comments?
Well, I would just like to say, as a school board member and a part of the community, I appreciate the folks that are on this board and the time they spend and the passion in which they serve the community. All of you. I want you to know that it's appreciated, even though the community may not know about you. So you are recognized by me, and thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so next meeting, like I said, we have a special meeting, June 10th, to consider the recommendations for the park planning designers. And then our regular next meeting, June 17th. So we're sorry about the extra meeting, but there was no way we could get everything ready in time to do that tonight with all the interviews. All right. Well, thanks very much. 7:41. You would like to adjourn?
I'll
Second.
second that.
Thanks,
Oh.
everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.